Hi everyone. This week I want to talk to you about how to help somebody with Tourette syndrome. It can be a tricky topic because helping somebody with Tourette's, it really all just depends on the person and who you're dealing with that has the disorder. You know, we're all different, we all cope differently, and we all, it's not always easy to ask for help. It's not always easy, sorry, it's not always easy to ask for help, especially when the person on the other end can't really help you when it comes down to it. Obviously, nobody can make Tourette syndrome go away for us. Nobody can make us wake up one day and never tick again. And obviously, if that would happen, none of us would have an issue and that would be amazing. But there are certain things that I think the people around me do that help a lot. And so I just wanted to share those with you in case you are somebody watching that has a child with Tourette syndrome or that has a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, a cousin, a family member, no matter what it is, because that seems to be the question that I get the most when it comes to Tourette syndrome. And I get asked by a lot of parents on how can I help my child when it gets really bad. And unfortunately, I'm not here to tell you that there's some magic cure. When it gets bad, you never know when it's going to get bad most of the time. And, you know, not knowing what to do is okay because not all of us do know what to do. I don't even know what to do most of the time. However, for me, I don't like a big deal being made out of it. And I'm going to say that a majority of us wouldn't like that either. People around me ask me if I'm okay, and obviously that's more than enough. If they just want to ask if I'm okay, and if I tell them yes, and they just not back off, but they don't push the issue, that's what I want. If I tell you that I'm okay, then I'm okay, especially with my Tourette's. Maybe with some other things, you need to push a little more, but I know my body with my Tourette syndrome, and if I know I'm okay, then I'm okay. And I'm willing to bet a lot of other people feel the same way. That's not to say that somebody out there would be lying or hiding the fact that they need help, because again, it's very difficult to ask for help. But what helps me is, like I said, not making a big deal about it. When I tick, don't react to it facially. Don't stare or point or anything like that. And most people that have Tourette syndrome or know somebody with it that close usually wouldn't do that anyways, but still, I think the best possible thing to do is just act like everything that they're doing is completely normal, because for us it is. We can't control it, and it's not going to stop, and it's also not going to get better if you make a big spectacle of things. So my husband, who is with me the most now, he will just put his hand on my back and he'll rub lightly. That to me is kind of like our silent clue that he acknowledges what I'm doing and he's there if I need him. He'll put his hand on my back, rub my back. If it gets too bad, he'll lean over, ask if I'm okay, or if there's anything that he can do. And I know that it kills him to not be able to help me. And I know those of you watching right now that have children with Tourette syndrome, it probably kills you too, that you can't make it go away. But I promise you, just knowing that you're there is all the help in the world. I know that I have my husband, I know that I have my mom and dad, and I know that I can call my mom at any point in the day, even now as an adult at 29 years old. I can call my mom, or I can go to her house crying, and I know that she's just gonna be there for me and let me vent. And that's what it is. Like, don't try to tell us that, please don't say that it could be worse, or, you know, at least you don't have it this bad or as bad as so and so, because for me, I've always believed that that's not helpful. Believe me, I think that most people with Tourette syndrome out there have it worse than me. I know that. I know that I have a mild case, and I know that I'm lucky because of that. But that, when I have a really bad day and when it's amping up, that's not helpful. And at least for me, that's not very helpful at all. So the best advice that I can give, and I know I'm kind of talking in circles here, but honestly, it's just being there, making us feel like what we're doing is normal, not making it seem like what we're doing is abnormal. My family and my friends my whole life have let me just tick, and the conversation just keeps moving. They don't sit there and like wait for me to be done ticking, so then everybody else in the conversation stops and stares at me as well. Everybody just keeps rolling, and for me that's been the most helpful, knowing that I have them. So if you have somebody in your life with Tourette syndrome, just let them know you're there. Sit down and talk to them. Ask them how you can best help them. They might not be able to answer you or get a perfect answer for you, but having the conversation is important, because some people like to make jokes about it. Some people like to laugh it off. Some people do not, and it's very important that you find that part out if you want to make it lighthearted, because the person might not be receptive to it. So just have a conversation, be there, don't act like it's a big deal, and just love them as they are. And I promise that person will eventually feel comfortable enough to come to you and tell you what they may need, or even if they might need help eventually. Don't push the issue and just let them be them. And that's the best thing I can tell you. I know it's probably not what a lot of you wanted to hear, especially those with children with Tourette syndrome, but that's what my parents did for me, and I promise you it made all the difference in my life living with this disorder. So I hope that was at least a little bit helpful for you watching, and please don't be afraid to ask me what you would like me to cover next, or what kind of topics you'd like me to cover. I am obviously more than happy to cover anything and everything, so please ask those questions, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video so other people know how to help. Thanks.